The story of Dracula always focuses on Vlad the Impaler's cruelty. But no one asks the question that matters most: what made him that way? Vlad was born in 1431 in Transylvania. His father, Vlad II, was a military governor caught between two empires, the Hungarian Kingdom and the Ottoman Empire. Survival meant playing both sides. Loyalty meant nothing. Betrayal was currency. When Vlad was 11 years old, his father made a deal with the Ottoman Sultan. To secure an alliance, he handed over his two youngest sons as hostages. Vlad and his younger brother Radu were taken to the Ottoman court. They would remain prisoners for 6 years. This wasn't a comfortable diplomatic arrangement. It was psychological warfare. The boys were kept in isolation. They were educated in Ottoman culture, language, and warfare. But they were also reminded daily that they were prisoners. Enemies. Expendable. Vlad's younger brother, Radu, adapted. He became a favorite of the Sultan's son, Mehmed. Some historians believe their relationship was romantic. Radu converted to Islam. He became Ottoman. Vlad refused. He resisted every attempt to break him. And in that resistance, something inside him hardened. He learned that mercy was weakness. That fear was the only reliable currency. That to survive, you had to become more terrifying than your enemies. When he finally returned to Wallachia at age 17, his father and older brother were dead. Murdered by rival nobles and Hungarian forces. Vlad was alone. Surrounded by enemies. And he had learned one lesson very well. Terror works. The most infamous claim about Vlad the Impaler is that he drank blood. That he dipped his bread in the blood of his victims. This is where the vampire myth truly begins. But is it true? Most historians believe this was propaganda. Vlad's enemies, particularly the Saxons and Hungarians, spread pamphlets describing his atrocities. These were some of the first mass-produced horror stories in history, printed on early printing presses and distributed across Europe. They described Vlad dining among forests of impaled corpses. Laughing as victims screamed. Dipping bread in their blood. Drinking from golden cups filled with it. But here's what's true: Vlad did dine outdoors among the impaled. This is documented. He wanted his enemies to see that he felt no guilt. No horror. That he could eat a meal surrounded by death and suffering without flinching. Whether he literally drank blood is unclear. What matters is that people believed he did. And Vlad encouraged that belief. Because fear was his weapon. If people thought he was a monster, they would surrender before he even arrived. But there's another layer to this. Vlad's cruelty wasn't random. It was calculated. He impaled Ottoman envoys who refused to remove their turbans in his presence, claiming it was their religious custom. He impaled them through their turbans, saying he was helping them keep their custom permanently. He invited rival nobles to a feast, then had them impaled while still wearing their finest clothes. He burned entire villages that had sheltered his enemies, including women and children. This wasn't madness. It was strategy. Every act of cruelty sent a message: do not cross me. The women in Vlad's life are rarely mentioned. But their stories reveal another layer of his darkness. Vlad's first wife's name is unknown. She was a noblewoman, likely married to him for political alliance. According to legend, during an Ottoman siege, a servant shot an arrow into Vlad's castle with a message warning that the Ottomans were coming. Vlad's wife, believing they were about to be captured, threw herself from the castle tower into a river below. She preferred death to being taken by the Ottomans. The river is still called the Princess River today. Vlad remarried. His second wife was Ilona Szilágyi, a Hungarian noblewoman and cousin to the King of Hungary. This marriage was also political. She gave him 2 sons. But Vlad was rarely home. He was always at war. Always fighting. always impaling. When Vlad was finally captured by the Hungarians in 1462, he was imprisoned for 12 years. During that time, Ilona remained in Hungary, raising their sons. Some accounts say she feared him, that she never visited him in prison. When Vlad was released and reclaimed the throne of Wallachia in 1476, he ruled for only 2 months before he was killed in battle. His body was decapitated, and his head was sent to the Ottoman Sultan as proof of his death. But here's the mystery: no one knows where Vlad's body is buried. Some say he was buried at Snagov Monastery near Bucharest. But when archaeologists excavated the supposed grave in the 1930s, they found nothing. An empty tomb. Other legends say his body was taken by loyal followers and hidden. That he was buried in secret to prevent desecration. Some believe he was never buried at all. Today, Vlad the Impaler is a national hero in Romania. There are statues of him. Museums dedicated to him. His face is on tourism posters. He is celebrated as a defender of Christianity against Ottoman invasion. But there's a darker side to his modern legacy. There are people who genuinely worship him. Not as a historical figure, but as an icon of ruthless power. Online forums and fringe groups idolize his cruelty, seeing it as strength. As justice. Dracula tourism is a massive industry in Romania. Bran Castle, falsely marketed as Dracula's castle, attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. Tourists buy Dracula wine, Dracula shot glasses, vampire fangs in gift shops. But the real locations associated with Vlad, the ruins of his actual fortress, the sites of his mass impalements, are far less visited. Because the real history is too dark. Too uncomfortable. In 2014, archaeologists claimed they might have found Vlad's true burial site in Naples, Italy, of all places. The theory is that his followers secretly moved his body there to protect it from Ottoman desecration, though this remains unproven. The grave has never been opened. The Romanian government has refused to allow DNA testing. Whether from respect or fear, no one will say. Bram Stoker never visited Romania. He wrote Dracula from descriptions in books, borrowing Vlad's name and Transylvania's reputation. He turned a historical warlord into an immortal monster. But the truth is, Vlad didn't need to be a vampire to be a monster. His cruelty was human. His terror was calculated. And his legacy, part hero, part demon, remains as complicated and dark as the man himself. The part of Dracula's origin no one talks about isn't his cruelty. It's that we made him immortal. We gave him exactly what he wanted. To be remembered. To be feared. Forever.